Okay, I think we are going live. Here we go. All right, so good evening, everybody. And I thought I was going to do this on Amazon, and I thought better of it. So we're just going to do it here on YouTube tonight. So what we're going to look at today is something called 3D SEN. This is, you've probably seen this already. This is a 3D VR NES emulator, and we're going to run it on my monster laptop here. And this thing just returned from a really successful event on the other day because we streamed for 8 hours a graduation ceremony from this very computer. We had 4 cameras going in via NDI. We had all sorts of cool stuff. I was really impressed with the performance of this gaming laptop, which is the Y740. So I figured, hey, you know what? I got some time. The family is out on a little mini vacation on the other side of town, my dad's place. So I am just like hanging out here. So I figured, why not hang out with all of you? So we're going to get this booted up real quick here. I'm just getting everything set up. And I'm going to set up a little overlay. And what I'm going to do is like capture some footage. Now, what we're going to be playing tonight is this thing called 3D SEN, 3D Sen. And what this lets you do is, I'm just getting into my Steam account here, is it lets you play your NES games in virtual reality. So it's an emulator, but it doesn't play every NES game like this. So there is a 2D mode, but if you want to do the full 3D effect, then you've got to do, you got to run one of the games that they support. And I think there's like 70 different games that they support at the moment, and I've got a few that I'm loading in that I think might be really fun to play with. So those are the ones we're going to try today. And we got a new membership from Top Cat Electronics. Susan, thank you very much. So we're going to check that out. Jason Jones is in first with the first comment. And Mark Dell wants to know, have I ever tried EMU VR? I haven't, but I've heard of it. And I'm really eager to try it out, actually. So let me show you what I'm doing here real quick. So we've got my little thing running here. And what we're going to do is pull up me. You know what I should do? I'm going to build this as a virtual. What I've been doing on my fancy system here. Let me show you what I'm working on. I'm just building out these what they call virtual sets. And I'm going to show you, oops, am I in the right one? That's not the one I want. So I'm going to show you what I'm going to build out here real quick on my vMix, and then we'll get the games going. So let me just build this out real quick, and we'll go to display 1. And let me just show you what I'm doing. So what I'm going to do is go over to add input, and I'm going to go to virtual set, and I'm going to do a blank 10 as they call it. And what I'm going to do here is just pop into this, and we're going to add a bunch of stuff. So the overlays, the multi-viewer, we're going to have the first one be my dark background. The second one is going to be camera 1. But what we're going to do here is kind of zoom it down, and then we're going to crop out parts of it because I don't want to have more than just like my immediate self here as a square. So we don't have too much of like wasted space here as we're doing this stuff. Because I want you to see what I'm doing, but I want to have a good focus on the game itself. So we're going to get that there. We're going to zoom us down a little bit. That should work. And then in overlay 3, what we're going to do, let me just get this full screen here, is we're going to bring in my computer, which is coming in on this one here. Actually, you know what I should do is reverse these, but let's see what happens. Let me zoom this out a little bit. Oops, wrong way. And we'll put this over here. I could probably go a little bit further in. Yeah, you know what, I did this wrong because I want to put mine on top. So we're gonna go back and fix this real quick. So we're gonna have this one be that, and we're going to just reset the whole darn thing. I'm still learning my way around vMix here. And then overlay, let's see, multi-view. So then this one, let's see, which one are we working on here? Sorry, everybody. I'm just trying to get this set up. Okay, so that's the background one. So that one's going to be the computer screen. So overlay 3 is going to be me. So let's go multi-view. On 3 is going to be my camera. And we're going to position and crop. And yeah, so this is all real-time in vMix. And this is stuff I would previously do on my TriCaster. But now I can do this stuff on here. And I was really impressed with vMix over the weekend. So we were streaming from that laptop that you'll be seeing in a second. We were streaming all weekend, or actually not all weekend, all day weekend. What am I talking about? On Wednesday, was it Wednesday or was it Thursday? It was Wednesday, right? Because Thursday my internet went down, so I couldn't do any work on Thursday. So I was out like most of Tuesday because we were getting things ready for the live stream for the graduation. I'm going to talk about it on the wrap up because a lot of you were interested in the graduation and how we did it. So we're going to come back to that topic this week on the wrap up. I think it's going to be fun. So we're going to do that. What was I saying? So I'm just blabbering away here. So in any event, yeah, so I was away basically Tuesday and Wednesday getting the graduation stream set up. And it came out amazing. Like I was so impressed with it. And the laptop here, we ran the stream off of this laptop. We had 4 cameras. So we had a PTZ camera going in. We had 3 other NDI sources, including a drone that was flying around. It was great. It was just so awesome. The kids had a great experience, I think, all things considered. You know, their whole graduation was kind of upended because of the current situation. So it was unfortunate that that's what happened. But every student got to drive up to the stage and walk across and get their diploma. So every student was individually acknowledged. And I think each student had far more personalized attention than they would have had otherwise. You know, so that the individuals benefited greatly, but the group did not. You know what I mean? That was what one of the teachers there had said, and I think it was a really good point. So give me 1 second. I'm just saving something I just set up here. So this is going to be Gaming VR 2-up, me and screen. All right, so I'll save that, put that in here, select folder. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm setting this up. So now we've got like this little 2-up thing here. And what we're going to be playing with tonight is a little thing called 3D Sen. So we're going to take a look at that. So Marco wants to know, how many people did I use? So I just had my guy James with me, who helps me out here in the studio. So it was me and him, and then one of the teachers was flying the drone, and then another one of the teachers was handling some of the audio. But we had and I'm going to cover this on the wrap-up. I'm probably going to do a separate video about this also. I had the PTZ optics camera with me, and that's a PTZ camera, so it turns automatically. So what we were able to do was we set fixed positions in vMix, and then we were able to have a shot of the area where the car arrives. So we had a wide shot, and then we had another camera positioned off to the side of the stage. So as the student pulled up, we got them walking, you know, from the front end view, walking towards the stage. We had another camera pointing, you know, basically across the stage so that you could see the student going up the stairs and then back down. So we would cut to the other camera as the student walked up on the stairs, and then we would hit a key, and the PTZ camera would turn to the stage and zoom in. So we would get the front and, you know, the front view of the student. And then the student would get down, we cut back to that stair camera, and then as the student was stepping down, we had the camera repositioned to the photo area. So it was like having 3 cameras in one, and we didn't have to sit out in the sun and operate it. It was all operated remotely. And the cool thing was it was all power over Ethernet. So NDI and PoE, single Ethernet cable, 200-foot cable, right to the camera. It's all we had to hook up. It was amazing. So I'll talk about it. Top Cat Electronics. I'm not a gamer. First of all, thank you for your super chat. I'm not a gamer, but I have a question about Plex. I'm new to Plex. Do I need to have an HD Home Run subscription to use it in Plex? No. So you can, the HD Home Run subscription is only required for their DVR. So if you use Plex and you have a Plex Pass, you can use it without any additional charge. And that's one of the cool things I like about the HD Home Run. is that they don't, they're very open to additional platforms. So you have channels and Plex and MB. You can use, whatever you want with it, which is great. All right, so yeah, so Marco, yeah, we had macros set up essentially. So I had mapped. I'll talk about this on Monday, but I had mapped keys. So if we hit S, it would zoom in on the stage. If I hit C, it would go to the photo spot. And if I hit P, it would go to the parking area. It was awesome. So we saved a lot of labor and time with that. And then, and it kills me because I found you're so busy planning everything. And for the most part, the students were in the right spot all the time. And if I had to do it all over again, I would have spent a little more time learning about some new software that they just came out with for the PTZ optics camera, which allows you to operate the camera with a game controller. And you can also set exposure presets based on your fixed camera positions. So the stage was under a vestibule, so the lighting for the stage was so different than what we saw on the photo area, and it changed throughout the day. So I pretty much left it on auto, but I would have, in a perfect world, configured it differently. And what I learned after the fact was that this new thing will preserve the exposure settings for each camera position that you set up as a macro location. So if I hit the stage, it would change the exposure settings and go right in on the stage. And then when I switched out of that, it would move. So if I had to do it all over again, I would have had the game controller hooked up and done it that way. But it was fun stuff. Mark Dell, thank you very much for your super chat. It is appreciated. All right. So we're going to go and get this show on the road here. I see Smoke Monster's in here. I know Smoke Monster wants to check out 3D Sen. I'm surprised you haven't done a stream on this yet. Maybe we should do one together. I don't think they do multiplayer yet, but we should check that out. Okay, so the first thing I got to do here is load up my Oculus software. And I'm using the Oculus Quest. I think Smoke Monster has the Quest also. And this is an amazing VR headset. I have been, this is one of these products. It's kind of like, there's a very small number of products that gets better after you buy it. And this is one of them. So when this came out, it was great, standalone virtual reality headset. But they keep adding stuff to it and making it better. So it's still a great virtual reality headset, standalone, awesome capabilities. But recently they added the ability to plug in a USB cable like this one, and you can run this as an Oculus Rift, just off your PC, which is what we're going to do with the laptop here. And then in addition to that, the headset now will detect your hands moving around, your fingers. We did a stream about this a few weeks ago, which was just amazing. It just keeps getting better and better. I don't know, I just love it. Just love it. So I wish more people loved VR because it's really amazing. So give me a second here, folks. I'm just going to get this thing fired up. Smoke Monster he said he's been addicted to Half-Life Alyx, and that's on my list of things to try to get more into this week. I started playing it the other day. What's been happening is my kids have been sneaking up on me while I've been playing it and scaring the crap out of me. So they're not going to be around for a couple days, so I'm going to try to make some more progress in that game. It's amazing. And the graphical fidelity of Half-Life Alyx is just mind-blowing to me. All right, so let me see if I can, I'm going to be popping back and forth here. And I may not always see the chat going here as I'm playing with this. So if, I know Smoke Monster is a moderator, so he can help out a little bit if he doesn't mind. Okay, so, and maybe, I know Smoke Monster is quite the expert on VR. So I'm sure he can maybe help some folks too. All right, so I got to get the Oculus Quest part going. Now, the other thing they recently added to this system with the PC connection is that you can now use USB 2 cables. So the cable that came with the Oculus Quest, I missed my opportunity here. The cable that came with the Quest now will work as your link cable, but I'm still using this USB 3 one that I've been using. So, all right, my computer's making a lot of noises. I'm not sure what's going on. I left controller battery. See, this is what happens every time I turn this thing on. There's like updates and all this other stuff that, there it goes. All right. So if we have to, I may have to go get another battery for this thing. Now, one of the cool things about 3D Sen is that in addition to, what's going on now? I'm hearing buzzing. And what am I seeing on screen? Nothing. One of the cool things with 3D Sen, of course this thing is like deciding not to work now. One of the cool things with 3D Sen is that it does not...
Sorry, I'm having trouble hearing
Oh my gosh, like this happens every time. Is that it will also do Duck Hunt and some of the light gun games. So that is really neat. All right, let me try this again here. If not, we may have to update the headset again. That's the one thing. They make the product better all the time, which I'm not complaining about. However, in the course of making the product better all the time, you have to continually update the headset. And I think what's happening right now is that it is not going into link mode because I am not up to date on my firmware. And I was afraid this would happen. So we're going to have to update the firmware on this thing. And I have to unplug this. And let's get this going. I think the battery in the controller just died also. Hang on a second, folks. Let's see. Now the thing is completely locked up. This happens every time we do a live stream. Like, stuff just doesn't work, right? And then in order to update the firmware, I have to make sure that the headset is plugged in. And I do have that base covered because I have the charging cable here. So I'm going to charge it and get the firmware updated. And we can chat while this is updating. All right. Let's see what happens here. So Grayson says I should maybe turn, yeah, I'll turn Do Not Disturb on. I think what's beeping at me is that it's having trouble with the Oculus drivers here. My headset is like completely frozen now. So let me just turn it off real quick. And while that's going, I will get another battery for the, for the controller. All right, so this one's working. Let me see if the other one's working here. Left controller not found. Yeah, so that battery is, oh, there. Yeah, that battery's kaput. So we're going to get that battery going. So we're going to just restart this thing. And while that's restarting, I'm going to go find another battery. And we will get all that working. Yeah, so as usual, best laid plans have not come to pass. So I'm just going to go get another battery here. And it also just so happens that my AA batteries are all in different places at the moment. So I'm hoping, oh good, there is one in here. So I use the Enter Loop rechargeables. So we'll get that going. And I'm not sure how late I'm going to go tonight, but we'll see what happens here. Okay. So we'll get this going. And while I'm working on this, I will give you an update on my Comcast situation. So yes, so on Thursday, so I was pretty much out Tuesday and Wednesday for the graduation thing, and then I was back. This was an 8-hour graduation ceremony, so it was quite a long day. I'm not complaining about it because it was great that we could help the kids. But I had lost 2 days to help with that, which I was perfectly fine with losing. But then I'm ready to get things done on Thursday. I had a couple things I wanted to do. I was tired, but I was like, I can get some work done. All right, so now it's telling me there's no software update available, even though it told me there was one a minute ago. All right, so I think maybe we're okay again. So let me unplug this, and we'll get the cable out on the other thing here again and see if maybe it'll work better now. So in any event, I'm getting ready to come down here and do my thing. And you know what happens? There's a tree that goes down on this intersection, takes out the fiber optic cables that Comcast has running through the neighborhood. And so it knocked out internet service for a good chunk of this area. And it was out for 8 hours. So that was the whole day. And then everybody then shifted to the Verizon tower, which meant nobody got anything done for data. So it was an awful day. I did work on a few things, but I had so much that I had really just wanted to get a bunch of these little things knocked out, and I couldn't do anything. And so I just took the dog out for a walk. And we walked all the way down to where the Comcast thing was. If you go on my Twitter, you can see my my photos of them fixing stuff. All right, let's try the link again. I have to reboot the computer. Oh, there we go. All right, so now we're good. For some reason, it wasn't working before. Okay, so now I'm going to pull up my little 2-up view here. And see what goes on here. Flood of Sins just popped in. A bunch of other folks are here as well. And I think you're not seeing what I'm seeing just yet, but that's okay. So what I'm going to do now is go over to my Steam, because I can actually run this as... Oh, you know what I need to do before I do anything else? We've got to pair my controller up with this thing too. So let me grab this. I'm just going to go in Bluetooth mode to keep things simple. So let's go hit that, and we'll get paired up. And this is my, by the way, this is something that came in free of charge from 8BitDo, but I just love this controller. So let me grab, let me go over to my Bluetooth devices. This controller works with everything, and I love it. Recipe Bob is here. All the usuals are popping in tonight. And I just posted up that printer review this evening. What's funny is printer reviews do lousy with subscribers, but they do very well over the long term. So that is why I do printer reviews. And there's not many YouTubers that do printer reviews. So I'm happy to do them, because I think there's a lot of interest in printers. And you know what's really interesting? That printer live stream, because we live streamed that printer the other day, that live stream was the most watched live stream I've done in months on YouTube. Like, it got way more views than anything else I've done recently. Isn't that crazy? It's going to get more views than this. All right. Yeah, Smoke Monster says he's still waiting for his VR videos to pick. You know, this is the thing. Like, there's just not a lot of consumer interest in VR. It's really bizarre. I don't get it, because it's so good now. You know, maybe when that Star Wars game comes out, that's when everyone's going to be like, oh, it's awesome, you know? All right, so we're in, and I just want to see what I see here. Okay, so hopefully you see. Yep, you're seeing that. Excellent. Okay. All right, so, wow, there's a lot of options here. So we're going to do a couple things, because I want to, where did my controllers go? Because what I want to do is configure, oh, you know what? Oh boy, okay. I want to configure the gamepad, and I can't use these controls here, so I've got to pop into, geez, this is so confusing. So I can't configure anything in here. Can I use the mouse here? Let's see. No. How can I get this to work? Let me see here. Because the controllers are functional here, but I don't have like any cursor. How to. So make sure you can see. Okay. All right. So how do we get stuff configured here? Menu equals select. Oh, here we go. Okay. So I think what I need, this is really difficult, because I can't use the mouse. And what I want to do is change this to the gamepad. So how does one do that? Menu, select, and start. Oh, okay. That's not what I want to do. All right, so I can see the screen, but I can't actually fix anything. And I can move through the settings here with the gamepad. But why can't I? By the way, this is $20 on Steam. Yeah, it's just not giving me any controls for adjusting the settings. So let me see if I can use the keyboard. All right, so that does the same thing as what the other one did here. Player. All right, you know what I'm going to do here? I'm going to see if there is a... So I was able to do this on the Steam version, but I figured running it in Oculus might make more sense. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to quit this, and we're going to load this up in... And this is the other problem with VR, is like everything is so experimental that you have to like really poke around with stuff to get it to work the way you want. So I'm going to close it here. And what we're going to do is we're going to load it in Steam VR, which I guess shouldn't make a difference. I just felt, I felt like, I think the view for you is better with Oculus. So we're going to load it in Steam VR and configure it, and then we'll see what the view looks like. If it doesn't look good, we'll swap it back. So sorry to hear that you can't experience VR, Grayson. My father has an eye, is blind in an eye also, so he's not able to see the 3D either. But he did play with it. He thought it was kind of cool. Like he could interact with it still. All right, I gotta wake the VR again here. And now my right controller's battery is low. I should have just changed both of them a minute ago. All right, so it's gonna load it up now. But why is it so low down there? All right, let's wait for it to load. Maybe part of the problem with VR is that every time I try to do a live stream, that we spend like half the live stream just trying to get whatever it is to work properly. That could be part of the problem. I don't know what it's waiting on now. It's just kind of sitting here. Oh, I clicked on something. All right, so now I'm back to where I was before. So the good news is that at least you'll be able to see what I'm looking at. This is so bizarre. Like, why doesn't it let you click on anything? All right, so you know what I'm going to do? Like, why did they make this so difficult? Right? Like, why? I don't want to play with the keyboard. So menu equals select and start. What if I hit start? Nothing. Select and start. Nothing. So then it goes to, oh, is that what this is? Up? Yeah, it's not working. All right, you know what? Here's what I'm going to do what I did earlier before I started this whole disaster. We're going to quit again. And this time what I'm going to do is load it up without the headset and configure it. This is like $20, by the way, for this app or whatever it is. Let's see if I can hit the quit button here. All right. So now what we're going to do is we're going to disconnect the headset again, and let's see if we can quit Steam VR, and we're going to load it up again. Oh, I'm in the wrong thing. Good Lord. All right, let's go in here again, and we'll just click this. Now what'll happen is that now that it's disconnected, it's going to force it into 2D mode, and this might give us a shot. Eric Bazinga sent me a link in email, so let's see what he's got. So now I can go in here and actually configure this thing. So that's what we're going to get going here. All right, so it looks as though we should be able to use the D-pad. The A button is going to be the button for, okay, so A and B are A and B. No, A is A and X is B. Do I want that? I kind of want B to be B. So I'm going to go and change that, I think. Oh, shoot. So I'm going to hit this and go B. Okay, that's not right. So A is B. A is A and B is B? Okay. This thing's backwards. Oh, you know why? Because of this, you know, I'm just having one of those nights. Okay, we're just going to roll with this and see what happens. Okay, so we got that configured. That's what I wanted to do. And then it looks like I can rotate the view with the sticks. So that's pretty cool. So I think that's all I need to do here. So the question is whether or not this will stay put. All right, so we're going to quit now. And I'm hoping that those settings will get preserved. So now we'll put the headset back on, and we'll go from there and see what we get. And hopefully that works. And I'm going to check my email now because I think Eric just sent me something, because maybe he's had more experience getting this configured than I have. Nothing's easy, folks. this bleeding edge stuff. All right, hang on. Eric, I do not see an email from you. So I will have to, if you want to send it again, and we'll get going there. Okay. Let me put this back on, and now we'll reconnect my cable, and hopefully all right, access Rift. Okay, so I hit enable. And now we're loading up 3D Send again. And hopefully you can see something. Oh, now it's telling me the headset isn't detected. So I see stuff in here, but you don't see anything there. Let me try this one more time. So we're going to load up 3D Send. Okay. Now it's loading Steam again. Okay, here we go. It reverted. This stinks. I want my money back. This is really aggravating. How do I change this setting? So create game art, switch views, press menu. Let me try hitting some buttons here and see if... so that's not going to do anything. What about this button? That's not doing anything. Because right, it's still stuck on these keyboard commands. Well, I can load a game, I guess, right? We can try that. All right, so let's try. You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna do like I was gonna do this last, but I don't know how we're gonna play these games if we can't get the game controller to work. So we're gonna go over to Duck Hunt. Oh, you know what? Oh, okay. So if I look at something, that is how it goes that way. Okay, so let's try that. Let's try that out. Give me 1 second, folks. I got to just do a quick thing here real quick, and then we'll come back to the... Okay. Let's try this again. All right, so now I've got to go navigate to D, and I have it here, NES, and Duck Hunt. And open. Oh, look at that, you got a zapper. Now the problem here, well, there's a couple of problems. One is that it's like super close. And so I can move with the controller here. Hopefully you can see this. Yep. So I can move the controller here, and that will adjust the 3D. Isn't that cool? Oh, that's pretty cool. And it's like legit 3D. It's pretty cool. I like that. Now what I don't know how to do, oops, is I guess I can move my head back here. That's what I can do. So the gun, like I have to kind of hold my wrist in a kind of an unnatural position here. But you know what's kind of cool is that it really is like 3D. And the ducks are moving in 3 dimensions here too, which is really neat. So can you all see this? Yeah, you can see this. So the ducks are moving in 3-dimensional space. So they're moving behind, like they're moving behind the trees. This whole scene looks, it looks 3D, obviously, but the gun's aim is not right, because I am like, either I'm like just, oops, really bad at this game. There we go. Now how do I, oops, I didn't want to do, what did I do? What did I do? Go back to the game. Oh, I can go over here. All right, there we go. So I don't know how to, oops. So if I hit the right stick, you don't want to hit the right stick. Oh, here we go. Okay, I figured out how to zoom. Okay, so the triggers here zoom in and out. So I can zoom like super close. It's kind of cool. I gotta give them credit. This is like, this is neat. The aim on the gun is like totally off. So I think they've got to work on that a little bit. But this is really cool. Now my understanding with this is that, big letters. My understanding with this is that they have to make special profiles for each game to have it work like this. So I'm guessing there's some kind of custom code here. There we go. There's some kind of custom code here to make this work. This is cool. I got to give them credit. They've done, this is neat. And this is running with the Duck Hunt ROM. So this is not, like some like port. It's the actual code running. And then they've adjusted the graphical elements to make this a VR kind of experience. And it's kind of, this play field is kind of floating in front of me here. I'm getting better at the gun here too, I think. So normally like that scoreboard would be, on a flat plane. And the ducks are kind of moving in and out too, which is neat. There was a homebrew guy that made like a true VR version of Duck Hunt, which was awesome. I think I have it on my computer upstairs still. All right, then we can go, and the sound is the same too. I got to turn the sound on. So let me do that real quick. Get the sound going here, so you can all hear what's going on. And before I do that, because I've been known to blow you all out of the thing here. Yeah, so Smoke Monster, if you go on the Steam listing for this, you'll see all of the supported games. And let's go to audio. And I think you should be able to hear it now. And apparently this controller is going to die in a minute also. So. Can you all hear that or not yet? Doesn't sound like the audio is passing through. I'll deal with that in a second. Well, that's cool. All right, let's see what else we got on here. So the other one that I did that was a, I think I have Hogan's Alley on here. Or is it Shooting Gallery? What's the name of that other game? It looks like it's got some save states also. Let's see. Wild Gunman, that's what it was. So how do we get that started? There we go. And I've got these ROMs loaded up here. Oh, I didn't put that on there. So Hogan's Alley. Is Hogan's Alley on the list? Let's see. So actually, you know what? If you want to know the games that it can play, so these are the supported games. So 2D mode will play anything. We'll try that in a minute also. So we have this. Oh, it does have Hogan's Alley. So let me go through the rest of the list here. Oops, sorry everybody. The controls are super touchy on this. And then to make this work, you need the ROM. So you can't just, it doesn't just play it without the ROM. And there's some question as to whether or not this will remain on Steam because of the fact that it's a, yeah, you see, oops. See, I can't actually, so the controls are not the same in this menu here because I can't change this to gamepad. There it goes. All right, now I got it. That's what I wanted. All right, so let's go back to game. Let's do, because we're already on the light gun stuff, so let's do Hogan's Alley real quick. And we'll load it up there and go to open. What it doesn't support is Freedom Force, which was my favorite light game. All right, hopefully you can all see this. Yep. All right, it's a little flickery. All right, shoot gangs only. Got it. All right. And I got to deal with the sound in a minute too, but the sound is the NES sound. It's the same sound that you remember, so. This one's not as compelling because it's kind of like, you know, it's a very flat game to begin with, so I don't know if this one's going to have any benefit. Oops, I shot the wrong guy. But we can get in. It's kind of neat to be able to like look at these games in a perspective that you couldn't before. And the 3D really, really makes a difference. All right, let's go and do a few more of these. All right, well, that one's not as compelling as Duck Hunt. All right, so let's go and do, let's try Excitebike real quick here, because that one might be, you might be able to do something cool with this. All right, so let's go hit the, all right, I wonder if we could, oh man, this is crazy. A little like first-person perspective. All right, so let me get it dialed in here, and then I'll get the controller out because I did configure the game controller. So let's zoom in a little bit. Actually, I can do that on the game controller. Okay, so here we go. All right, so now I've got the game controller out. Let's see if I can do a little. This is so wild. Oh, all right, so it doesn't quite work with the jumps. But I got my little dude here. He's like very pixelated. All right, for some reason here oh, that's right, it's up and down, right? Because so this is what's so weird about this is that the controls are not what you think they would be because normally you're playing from this perspective. So you would move him up and down. And what's so wild about this is that you're looking at the game in a very different way because it's got depth now. This is cool. So this would be something where you'd probably want to remap the controls. I don't think you can appreciate this actually if you're not seeing what I'm seeing. It's like you got this little like toy in front of you. Because it's all 3D and it has depth to it. It's just so cool. Look at this. And what's kind of funny about this is like here's a game that I've been. So here's what's all right. This is really neat. So what I see right now is this ramp in front of me, and it's obstructing my view of the motorcycle. So it's like you can almost reach out and touch him. It's neat, but you still have to hit up and down on the control pad to move him into the different lanes. So you can see that. That is cool. That is neat. Now, what doesn't work is RC Pro-Am. So that is cool. All right, so let's see what else we got here. Pulled a few others. Let's see. So I have, oh, this was another one I wanted to see. So Castlevania, oops. I have to get the handle as to what button does what. I'm trying to get I don't know what I almost have to like display this again because it just looks so freaking cool. Yes, this is like a very different perspective. And you know, they did have, remember they had that 3D version, like you could get that 3D Excitebike on the 3DS. So it's kind of reminiscent of that, but you know, you're moving around. I wonder if I can room scale this. Yeah, so I can move my head closer, or I can zoom in the play field. But you get like this perspective where you've got this familiar game, but you can kind of reach out and touch it, which is so cool. Yeah, this is pretty cool. I'm not sure how it's looking to all of you. Let me see how it's. Yeah, it looks like it's playing at a decent frame rate. I think you're only getting one eye because it looks like it's kind of moved over a bit, but yeah, that is neat. All right, so let me go and back to the menu here. And I think what I want to do next is load up Castlevania. And apparently what they did in Castlevania was, and every game starts off like super zoomed in. And what they did in Castlevania here, yeah, so the score is like in front of me. And it's almost like I'm looking into a diorama. Remember those things you used to do in school with like the shoebox? Oops, what happened? Go back there. Oh, you know what? The controls are all mapped out of whack again. All right, let me go. Yeah, it's the only frustration I have is the control setup. All right, because I think, oh, I see. I have a conflict here. So let's go. Let's map the menu on the controller. Shoot. Give me a second here. This is the one thing they've got to work on, is getting the controls improved here a bit. Okay. So let's go back to the game. There we go. Okay. I think I got the controls reversed, but yeah, so I can do this and kind of look in closer. Yeah, this is cool. Yeah, it's, you know, it's like I said, it adds a degree of tangibility to these games. And it looks like they've done stuff. Oh, look at that. So, and that was the other thing that I had heard about with this, is that the so you see those curtains don't move in the original. And so what I'm looking at here is there's a 3D plane. Yeah, this one looks a lot more up close and personal. It's almost like he's just sitting on the, like he's like a little paper guy on the edge of a box. So you can see how close he is to the edge there. What would be really neat is if they were able to remap the controls depending on your viewpoint. So for example, I'm moving right and left here, which is what you would normally expect when you're playing the game in 2 dimensions. And even though this looks 2D to you, it looks 3D to me. But it doesn't have a lot of depth to it. It's like, you know, he's standing out from the background. But it's a very, and I think that they must make, you know, the developers of this emulator must be making some artistic decisions about how these games should look. So this one feels like very, very shallow. Like not in a, I'm not saying that in a critical way. It's that the whole game just feels like very close to me. So he's like, you know, maybe an inch from the wall in this way. So it feels a lot more intimate. Again, almost like you're looking into like a diorama that you might have looked at as a kid or something. By the way, I've been playing on the Mr. Smoke Monster. I've been playing that awesome PC Engine CD version of Castlevania. Rondo of Blood. My goodness, is that a great game. The music is, everything about that game is awesome. And I feel like guilty for not wanting to play, like not having an interest in the TurboGrafx back in the day, because that's just an amazing thing. Yeah, look at this. Isn't this cool? I can't imagine what this took to make to work. And you know, like, so there's 2 versions of this emulator. This is the VR one, obviously. And I think, you know, if you play the desktop one, it's cool. But this is like a different way to, like I said, a different way to experience these games. And there's a tangibility to it that is interesting to me. And what's also interesting to me is just how how they're interpreting these games differently. So like I said, this one feels a lot more shallow than some of the other, than Excitebike, for example, which felt a little more 3D. But it's still like he's still three-dimensional, like he's still popping out from the background. That's really cool. All right, so that's neat. So let's go load up another one here. Not sure which button is supposed to be the selection. Right, the select button? Oh, select is select. Okay, that makes sense. So I didn't load up all these games on my on here. So let's see what we got else we can run. Mega Man 2 I've got. Let me try Super Mario 3 because I'm curious about that one. Oh, they don't have. Oh, here it is. Okay. So I'm going to hit select. All right. And open. Okay, so now, I'll jump in on the chat in a minute. Now, you would think here, because you know, like Super Mario 3 has got that floor that feels like it's coming out at you, and that floor is just like not a tile floor here. All right, let's see how this looks here. Whoa, this looks very different. This almost looks like they redrew some of the graphics. And I'll give you a perspective here. It's like a little, it's like a box cover, right? Like a little shoebox cover. And you can look at it from behind. Oh, you know what? Isn't that cool? So they kind of like, the little roots are in there. That's neat. All right, let's check out a level. There is, okay, so input lag is definitely an issue. So you're not going to be playing a professional speed run here. That's interesting. Look at that. I wonder if it'll... You know, it'd be cool too if they could. You know what they should do with this? And I'm guessing this is like the emulation versus the port kind of discussion. But wouldn't it be cool if this could go infinitely to the end, so you could see, like you could look to your right and see everything that's going on? I think that'd be really cool if they could do that. All right, so let's get him going on airborne here. I think I have my controls reversed, so that's throwing me off too. Shoot, I got to get that thing again. Yeah, so you have the same screen size to work with. Give me a sec. I'm going to redo these controls real quick because I am, oops, I'm not doing well. So we're going to have, all right, that's better. And we're going to reset this game, if I can do that. All right, here we go. Let's try this again. And this is pushing my computer harder than any NES emulator has done before. All right, so let's go back in here. Like I said, the music and the sound is all identical. I just can't get it working on my headset at the moment. I got to figure that out in a second. All right, so let's see if I can get them to fly real quick. What's funny is even though it looks different, my muscle memory is the same here, so everything, you know, it's because it's emulated, everything is in the same place. But they totally redid these graphics. I mean, these are all redrawn. But there's a lot of work that went into this. So Nintendo's likely going to like cease and desist this guy, but maybe they should hire him and make some cool PC VR Nintendo stuff. What's in here? Oh, look at that. That is so cool. And he is like very flat. See how he's like right on the, he's like plastered into the side of the screen there? But the coins are moving. Yeah, I think if you're looking at this, like the VR one, like it's probably cool on a 2D screen, but I think this is how you can appreciate this, and it's just kind of neat to be I mean, you can. It almost feels like you can touch everything. And it's got this cartoonish look to it. The best way I can describe the experience in here is like if my kid made this, is what it kind of feels like, because it's got that, like I said, that 3D tangibility to it. All right, let's see what else I've got on here, because I'm getting a headache. So I think I have Galaga. Do I have Galaga? Oh, I thought I put that on there. Oh, Pacman was the other one I wanted to try. So let's do Pacman real quick. Pacman, here we go. Okay. Make sure you're all still good here. Yep. And I can give you a better view of this here. Okay, so again, it's starting off like really zoomed in, so I'm just going to zoom out a little bit. Oh, look at this. This is cool. You know, this kind of reminds me of is that huge arcade cabinet you can play on at the. I played on one in Vegas at my hotel. It was like this big, huge, like OLED, LCD-looking screen. Look at that. Oh. So like even the pack pellets have these little. I mean, seriously, have you ever seen Pac-Man like this? So let's see what we can do here. Let's try to. So cool. This is like a work of, this is like art. I really feel like this is, whoa, zoom in here a little bit. And it looks enormous. It's like this big, huge board in front of me. That's neat. That is really cool. All right, let me pause for a second and rest my eyes because I'm like, whoa. Yeah, so yeah, I think what's happening with this is that the, so I'm just looking at some of the comments. It looks like it is kind of off to the side on the projection versus what I'm seeing. So I'm seeing it, you know, obviously head on. So yeah, so this is like, if I point this the way I would be looking at it, it's almost like it's taking the right eye. I guess it's almost on track. Isn't that cool though? I mean, it's the NES game, but it's just so neat how they've done this. Really, really cool. All right, let's see. Just looking through some stuff. I think Mark says, "Is this the new Paper Mario?" Yeah, it kind of looks like that, doesn't it? Oh yeah, Eric, I don't think I did see your email about Star Wars Squadron. Yes, no, I am very excited about Star Wars Squadron. I'm hoping that they. I want them to come out with it earlier. Critical Unity says Zaxxon would be awesome. That would be awesome. So I hope what happens here is that people get inspired, maybe, because there's no reason why you couldn't do this with a MAME ROM. You know. Again, the area where I think they may get in trouble is that if they're redesigning assets and stuff. I don't know if that's going to be problematic. I'm not an expert on emulation law, but I mean, they're obviously redoing things, right? These are not just the games running. There is something that, because this is not in, this artwork is not in the ROM. It's in these profiles that there's, oh, Contra works with it too. Let's do the Tengen Tetris real quick. Let's see what that looks like. Oh, very cool. All right, we're just going to do a quick run here. Yeah, this is cool. Some of these are more compelling than others. I think Excitebike and Mario 3 have been like and Castlevania. Those three have been really, really interesting to me. All right, that's cool. And the light gun support is awesome. I think that's a really neat idea. All right, so we'll go a little Contra. Now, do you see it had a load bar there? So I wonder if like this one's got a little bit more to it, because I just saw it was a little bit longer on the load than the other one was. All right, here we go. I didn't do my up, up, down, down thing. Oh, look at this. That is so cool. Yeah, you know what it'd be? I'll tell you, it'd be so awesome if you could just look down, like just see like the whole level to infinity. I would love that as a feature if that exists. I'll have to check the settings and see if it's possible. I can't imagine them not. I mean, if they're able to redo these graphics a little bit, like why couldn't they do that? Oh shoot, I went the wrong way. Ah, I got in a little too tight there. But these rocks are all 3D, so like there's depth to the rocks. See that? Like it's not just like one of those 3D projection kind of things. There's some of that, you know, just trying to make a 2D image 3D, but there's real depth to this. And if I stand up, you know, I get a different perspective. So let me stand up real quick here and just show you. See that? So it's all room. Yeah, it's not room scale, but it's, you know, it's 6 degrees of whatever. Because I can stand up, I can move my head in closer without having to use the controller to do that. And what's neat about using the controller is that I can play the game and then use the extra controls to adjust the screen position. I'm trying to like figure out like so this came out in what, 88? So I was 11 or 12? 87 maybe? So I was like 11 or 12 when this came out. I'm just trying to think like how the 12-year-old me would have responded to this. Because right now I've got this projected as like a 100-inch huge, like it's filling up my entire field of vision. Yeah, we got to get to the little 3D level part. So let's see how that works here. Hopefully I can live that long. It's not, I mean, it plays the same, but it's just, I'm not used to seeing it this way. So I know where everything is, but I'm like, and not everybody likes the laser, but I kind of like the laser. And it's definitely taxing my little laptop here. Oh, no. I judged that one wrong because it looks different. Oh, no. All right, you know what we're going to do here, folks? Let's see if I got the code right here. Ah, perfect. I don't believe this code is cheating just because it's so ubiquitous, right? Like this is the code. All right, so we're going to run through here real quick. Yeah, the depth on this is really very interesting to me. Yeah, Smoke Monster, I think this is something you're going to have to play with, and I would love to get your perspective on it. Pardon the pun. Because I know you are a true connoisseur of 8-bit gaming. And this is something that requires your expertise and commentary. It's funny now that the pressure is off of actually losing the game, I'm just totally doing much better now. All right. Ooh, forgot about that thing. I got really good at this game as a kid because, you know, it was so challenging, right? And you only had like so many continues. I think I once got to the last level on my non-cheating thing. So I got like I was getting really good at it. And then I learned the code, and I was just like, screw it, I'm just going to do the code because I want to see what happens at the end of the game. These games were always kind of disappointing in how they ended too. Yeah, so the game is like, I have it like super huge. Oops, I did the same thing I did before, didn't I? So it's 3D, and it's filling up my entire field of vision right now. All right, there we go. Okay, so here's the, let's get the guy at the top here. I wonder, like, you know, I would say though, like when we were all like the whole fantasy of VR back in the 90s, so, you know, was not that you would be playing Nintendo games in virtual reality, but here we are. All right, so let's see how this, the first person thing looks. Yeah, it is a little off kilter, like it's a little crooked. This is cool. So here's what this looks like to me. I don't know if any of you young whippersnappers here remember, but Sega had something called the Super Scope 3D. And this is what I imagined, this is what I would imagine it would look like. So this is not as, this is like, isn't it funny that the 3D level is the most two-dimensional? And I'm guessing it was just hard to work with the sprites here. So this is really looking very two-dimensional to me, because it is. That's kind of a bummer. So he's, you know, he's a little bit in depth there, but not a lot. So that is Contra. Cool. What else do I have on here? I think I have, oh, Mega Man 2. Let's just try that real quick, and then we'll take a look at the 2D mode. I think we tried just about everything else. Yeah, it looks like we got everything. Batman we didn't do yet, but maybe we'll get to that. This one's also taking a while to load, so I wonder if there's some special love in this one. Let's see. But I like how they've interpreted everything differently. This is a great game. This game is super hard. Ooh. That's cool. So he's like actually round, his cylinder. Isn't that neat? But this level is like just blue sky and clouds, right? So it's not that different. So let me reset the ROM here and just pick a different level. So one cool thing about Mega Man is that you can see what all the levels look like. All right, so let's go back to normal. I usually play on normal, and that is like super difficult. Yeah, so it doesn't look like it supports Bionic Commando or Ninja Gaiden yet. Gaiden, I love that. That's another great. There's so many great games on the. I'm trying to remember which one. Is it Flashman? Let's try a couple more of these here. Yeah, like I said, each of these games is being interpreted differently. Like I said, I think this is well I wanted to check out. Let's see if they have any parallax on this one. No, but it is. This is the level where he slips around a lot. Yeah, I would just love to see them like just give you the whole view of the battlefield. Wouldn't that be cool? To see beyond what you would normally just pick up on your TV screen. Because it's like, I have all this room, right? I'm not playing very well here. cool. Yeah, so it's not parallax, but they've got some nice 3D perspective on the bricks here, which is pretty cool. That is cool. I love the music in this game. Yeah, very neat. This is cool. I like it on a lot of different levels. I mean, they've done a lot of artistic license with this. You know, they've had to think about like how these games will play in 3D. And let me just do like a 2D version of Contra here. Let's just see what it looks like. All right, so we're going to run it in 2D now. And this is like straight up emulator. So this is just a flat screen in front of me. But still, like, how cool would it be as a, like, just go back to your youth, right? Like, wouldn't you love to play Contra on this screen that's so big it fills up your entire... This is like going to the movie theater and playing Contra on the movie screen. That's what this kind of looks like to me. So huge. And then I can see how far out I can go. So I can go out to like my little 13-inch. So here's like, yes, here's like the 20-inch TV I had as a kid, right? So just, you know, and this will play any game. So you don't have, you can play, you know, anything, even the games that aren't supported will play in 2D mode. So yeah, very cool. All right, I will say I'm not getting motion sickness or anything, but I am feeling some, eye strain. So I'm going to take a little break from this. So let me pull up the list of supported games. So I see there's some more questions about that. So there is a list somewhere here. So let me just close out of everything here. Whew. Yeah, that's not an intense experience, but I'm feeling some eye strain from that, and I'm sure I've got VR head. So I'm not going to be doing any Half-Life Alyx tonight, I think. So Smoke Monster, I would love to know how this is looking, how your Half-Life Alyx is working on the 1070, because I am amazed by the level of graphical fidelity on it. It's just remarkable. All right, let me go. And check it. All right, so there's some requests for DuckTales and Felix the Cat. So let me go and show you what games work on here. And then, all right, let's go. I think my laptop lost its connection to the, give me 1 second here. I'm just trying to get my screen to update on here. I'm going to reset the vMix thing here. Just give me 1 second, folks. All right. That is odd. It like it's stuck on the screen here. So I'm going to close this and then we'll reconnect real quick. Excuse me. Oh, there we go. Okay, now we're back. So let me go and load up the list of supported games. And let's go to community. Thank you for the super chat, Grayson. Yeah, this is cool stuff. I think this is like, you know, it takes the familiar and makes it different. And that's what I kind of like about what they've put together here. So let me just go and find the official page here for this. Let's go 3D Send, we'll go to the Community Hub. All right, so let me pull up the discussions, and I'll give you the full game list here. I'm gonna do two more because my eyes, I am like seriously in eye strain territory right now. And which games would you like to play most? Ever-growing list of supported games. Okay. So here is the full list. Can you see that? Let me zoom in if you can't see it. If I can figure out how to do that. Let's go do this and zoom. Oops. Oh, I'm in the wrong thing here. Main. All right. So here is the full list. That is everything that's supported at the moment. All right, so let me take some votes here. What do you want to see next out of this list? I can do like one, maybe 2 or 3 more. All right, Dig Dug, because it looks like a couple of you want to do Dig Dug. And DuckTales, I heard that one too. So let me, so Dig Dug, let me get my notes out here real quick. Dig Dug and DuckTales. We did Super Mario 3 already. So Dig Dug, DuckTales. I think somebody, Felix does not appear to be supported. Felix the cat is not on here. So it doesn't support that. And I'll do Zelda. How's that? All right, so we're going to do Dig Dug, DuckTales, and Zelda. And I got to reset my view here. And I need to just move some files over real quick. So let me go do that. And then, and if my head explodes, it's all your fault, all of you. Because my eyes are like killing me right now. Maybe I need glasses, because that could be why, right? And it's funny, like not all VR does this to my eyes, like, but this one's definitely doing it. And I think it's the focus that I'm putting on the 2D character in this thing. So that could be what's going on. And the sound, we got to figure out the sound, don't we? So I need to go in. So you're hearing that. All right, so let's put that on real quick here. Okay, so now you're getting sound. Okay, maybe we can get it going. All right, so let me just copy over a couple things here. I think I got the sound figured out now too. So we'll go to, I gotta go find them on my list here. Thanks to Smoke Monster, my games are very organized now. And if you have well-organized games, it's likely because Smoke Monster helped you, even if you don't know that he did. So let me just copy over Zelda and Dig Dug and DuckTales. All right, so Legend of Zelda. Bear with me for 1 second. I got to figure out where they put it. Zelda. Maybe it's under L. What I want is like RC Pro-Am. Wouldn't that be cool? All right, give me 1 more second here. I'm just going to copy it over. Legend of Zelda. So we'll get that one over there. You know what's amazing is the Legend of Zelda is 129K. So you could fit that on a floppy disk and then some. And that game was hours, tens of hours, 20 hours, whatever it was, right? Went on forever. Dig Dug. Dig Dug might be interesting. So Dig Dug. I have Dig Dug 2, but not Dig Dug. That's not the right one, right? Maybe Smoke Monster can tell me where it's supposed to be in the set. And then we've got DuckTales. So that one I do have. DuckTales. I was watching that with my daughter the other day on Disney Plus. Okay. All right, so now we're going to go and load this back up again. Let me just get this closed out here. And if my eyes fall out of my head, like I said, it's all your fault. All right, so let's load up 3D Sen. Okay. All right, we'll do Zelda next. How does that sound, everybody? Oh, I got to confirm my Guardian again here. Oh, it lost my link, enable link, which means that I've got to go through this whole rigmarole again. Okay, give me 1 second, folks. I just have to get onto my back onto our game here. So we'll go back to Steam. There we go. Okay. Hopefully you can all see this. Oh, you can't see this, so let me get you all up on here. And I gotta fix. Layer 1, we're gonna go to NDI. Okay, there we go. All right, you can see it now. Okay, perfect. And I gotta go back in here now and change it back to gamepad. Where did my gamepad go? Here it is. Okay, so now we're going to go up to game, and we'll do Zelda first. And we'll say Legend of Zelda. And open. Whoa, well that's cool. And let me make sure you can all hear this. Oh, the sound still isn't coming through though, huh? I'm going to check out this and see if I can get the audio mirrored out. There we go. All right, now it's coming out of like 5 things here. All right, I'm going to turn my mic off. Actually, wait, is it echoing too badly for everybody? There we go. Okay. That should work better. All right. So I got to go and register a... Oh, try elimination. What is that? This is cool. Like, even like the heart is like all 3D. Isn't that neat? Oh, that is neat. So I wonder if you should like be looking at it like this, right? Because this is kind of the perspective. It reminds me of like Legos almost. Let me know if that's too loud, everybody. Oh, it's a little bit too loud? Okay, hang on. Let me turn the screen off here. Sorry, this happens all the time. That should be better. Okay, there we go. Is that better? Thank you, Martel, for your super chat. Here, I'll turn it up just slightly. I think we need a little bit more, not too much more. All right, and hopefully you can hear me over that. Okay, perfect. Yes, I think this one is something where you probably just want to like angle it down this way. You know, it's funny. I bought this game. I remember when I got it. In fact, it was 1987. My brother had just been born, and I think my dad. My brother was 11 years younger than me, so I was 11. And I think we were coming back from the hospital, not with the baby, but with my dad. And I think we stopped at Child World, which you probably remember if you were in the Northeast. And I had been seeing this game, and what stood out to me was the fact that it was a gold cartridge. And that was really like, I was like, what is that game? Why is it gold? It's got to be really special if it's that. And I had no idea, because this is like, I don't think Nintendo Power was out, was available. Like, it just wasn't, yeah, I don't think there was Nintendo Power yet, or if there was, I didn't have it. So I just kind of bought it sight unseen, and it just sucked me in. I was like, wow, I just like the fact that you didn't know what to do. You know, there was an instruction book, you know, there was a little bit of a hint, and the instruction book is actually really well done. Kind of gets you into the world, there's a story, there's some like comic elements to it. This is really cool. And I'm guessing they had to do all of the assets. There's a lot of assets in this game that they probably had to look at. I think this is one where you're probably going to find the best position and just kind of leave it there. get in super close. I mean, it almost looks like you can just grab them. Alright, yeah, so that's Zelda. It's super sharp. If you like sharp pixels, this is your game. I want to say it's a little bit harder. Is this cool? Can you all see this? I just want to make sure you can see what I'm seeing here. Yeah, it looks like you can see it. Let me get rid of the Steam thing real quick. Of course, I got rid of it right when I get killed there. Let's do one more thing here. Go this way. It almost looks like an entirely new game. And this is the actual, you know, you're playing the real game code with these three-dimensional graphics. But it looks so, yeah, this is really, look at that. And again, it's just another interpretation of how, like, right? So we've seen a lot of different interpretations of these games. And this one, it's just neat how they've interpreted it here. And you have to see it in 3D to really appreciate it. So that's neat. All right, one last game. We're going to do Duck Hunt, or not Duck Hunt. We did that before. We're going to do DuckTales. Where'd it go? Duck Hunt, DuckTales. DuckTales. Life is like a hurricane. Right? Is that how it goes? Capcom like letting you choose your level, didn't they? And this one's kind of following that diorama thing I was talking about before, where you've got... But what's interesting, again, like they're doing every game a little differently. So this one, there's a little more depth to it. Like he's not plastered to the front of the playfield here. So he's kind of a little bit set back. Here, I'll show you. So he's a little bit, it's kind of a neat perspective, actually. I guess I'm not supposed to be able to kill that guy. Oh. I haven't played this game in a long time. I never owned this one. This was like one of the games that I would rent on the weekends or whatever. I used to love going, renting video games in anticipation of snow days. That was always fun. There's a little bit of depth to those trees also. You might, I don't know if you can see that or not. That's cool. Yeah, this is neat. Yeah, so there you go. My eyes cannot take much more here. Let me just pop out of this real quick. So yeah, I think this is cool. I'm eager to come back to this as they keep working on it, because this is just so unique and interesting. So I hope you found that interesting. I was eager to try this out, and I thought a live stream would be a great time to do it. And so yeah, that was what I wanted to do tonight. So Eric Bazingi, we should do like a bunch of, you know what would be kind of fun actually, Eric? What we need to do, Smoke Monster can do this with us, is we should get a whole bunch of us to do Star Trek Bridge Crew, because I have yet to like play it really, and I have it. So I would like to do that. Maybe I'll put an appeal out in an upcoming video or something. So that'd be kind of fun. Yeah, so in case you're wondering from a hardware perspective, because I know some of you tuned in late, we've got the Oculus Quest here running in PC Link mode, and we are running it off of my Lenovo Y740, and this thing has proven to be a monster little laptop for me. It's a 2080 Max Q. I got it around the holiday season, so I got a great deal on it. I'm actually really happy with the deal that I got. I think I paid $1,700 for this after all the discounts and all the other stuff. So I did like the Ebates thing, and then I had credit card points. All that stuff just kind of together got me down to 1,700. And I mean, what a deal! It's super lightweight, and what has been amazing, because as you know, I switched over to vMix. This thing is a superb live production workstation. So we were running an 8-hour 4-camera live stream of our local high school graduation through this very laptop. It went all day, not a hitch. It's just amazingly powerful. So it's good stuff. All right, so here's what we're going to do. I want everybody, Eric, I think what we should do here, we got to organize this somehow. So everyone who wants to play, I'm not going to do it tonight because I'm like totally dead with my eyes here. Whoever wants to do the Bridge Commander thing, send me an email at Lon.TV, and maybe on an upcoming weekend we'll do a game night and we'll get a bunch of us in. And so Eric, how many people can play Bridge Commander at once? And so we'll get a bunch of us in and we'll stream it. I'll stream it out from one of my machines here. That'd be kind of fun. And I guess it's multi-platform, right? So you can play on different platforms too. So that might be a fun way to do it. All right, 4. So all we need is 4. So email me, lon@lon.tv, and we'll try to set up a time to do that. Because Smoke Monster's in, I'm in. So we got, and then I think Mark Dell said, right? So Eric, Smoke Monster, Mark Dell, and me. So the 4 of us could totally do it. Ken Driggers wants to know, is the Quest worth the price? It is worth the price. I think it's a remarkable VR headset. If you're looking for something that's versatile, I think it's the best way to go, because it does the PC VR, which we were doing tonight with the just with the USB cable, but it also works standalone. So you have that as an option. So it's good stuff. Yes, maybe we'll set that. Let's set up a time. So why don't you all email me, and then I'll do a reply all to all of you, and we'll come up with a time that works for everybody. And if you don't mind, we'll stream it out, and it'd be kind of fun to do that, I think. So that would be neat. All right, let me just thank a few people here. So I'm going to go, I got to do some dishes upstairs. So I want to thank Top Cat Electronics Susan. I want to thank Mark Dell, Grayson Petty for all of your super chats there. Mark gave a bunch of them, so thank you for all of your support tonight. That was helpful. And yeah, this was cool. So this was 3D Sen. You can find this on Steam, and this is what it looks like on Steam here. 3D Sen. Now there's 2 versions of this, and I was not misled, but I was under the mistaken impression that if you bought the VR one, you also got the desktop one, but they're actually two different things. So the VR one, which we were just playing with, was $20. And you get, again, the games that it supports, and I'm guessing they're going to give you additional games that you can play down the road as they keep adding things. But again, you've got the 2D mode also. So that is that. But yeah, it's good stuff. Eric Bazinga wants to know, can we organize a Discord server or a subreddit? So we did try a subreddit years ago. That never worked out. Nobody really got into it. Maybe because I was a smaller channel, so maybe we could try it again. Discord is something that I am willing to try, but again, I want to make sure we get enough people into it, and because I just hate having all these different places to check. The Facebook group has been the most successful. We got 1,000 people in there. That one's really worked out the best, I think. Lon Dog's got some new hot sauces. Send me a link to those, Lon Dog. Maybe I'll grab 1 or 2 of them. Yeah, so we could do that. And then vMix has vMix call, so we could get all 4 of you in that way too, because that's all inbound, so that won't hurt my connection that much. So that's another thing. Or you can, yeah, if Eric, you want to manage it, we can try to figure something out. I know Smoke Monster does Discord. So, Smoke Monster bought the wrong version. Yeah, I think you should be able to return it, right? If you don't have enough hours into it, I think you can do a return there. So, yeah, good stuff. All right. Well, everybody, I'm going to call it a night here because I am like, I got to close my eyes for a little bit. the studio lights don't help, so I think that might be part of it too. But this was fun. I'm really impressed with this. I think this is really neat. And I think what's unique about this, and I'm really eager to hear Smoke Monster's perspective, because again, he is really a connoisseur of this medium. You're welcome, Ken Driggers. I enjoyed having you here. But what I found compelling about 3D Sen VR is that they've interpreted how these games should look in 3D in a unique way to each game. And so there's a lot of effort that's gone into making this work the way it does, because they've taken all those sprites and kind of redone them. I mean, they basically rendered them in 3D in some cases. So that's really cool. So yeah, it will strain your eyes a bit, and I think it's just you're focusing in on these little things. So I think that might be what's going on. Because when you think about it, when you're in a VR headset, your brain is being tricked in a bunch of different ways, and part of it too is I think your eye muscles are moving in a way that, in order to focus, that they would not be focusing in on in a normal environment, I think is what it is. So yeah, that's that. Okay, well everybody, I appreciate you all tuning in. We'll be back again. I'm going to probably be back tomorrow because I've got a lot of stuff to unbox. So here's what we're going to unbox tomorrow. I don't know what time I'm doing this yet, because I've got to hang out with the kids for a little bit, and I've got to do some family stuff. So who knows? Maybe tomorrow night, because I got in a new gaming laptop, a Lenovo. It's their new Legion 5. So we're going to unbox it and take it apart and see what's upgradable. And then Jake is going to take it on Monday and do his thing with it. I got another PC on a stick. So we're going to unbox that. And then Jake is going to do his thing with that. I've got like 4 PCs in the hopper that I really got to get going on. And then I'm pretty sure, because I was down here and I didn't hear the mailman come, because I had a sign for it. But apparently the new Mega EverDrive cartridge is in. Krix from Ukraine sent me that, so I think it's waiting for me at the post office. So if that is in, we'll also be doing that. And yes, we're gonna just unbox the Legion 5. I'm not gonna do any tests with it, because I'm gonna turn it over to Jake. But I think if that new Mega EverDrive cartridge came in, we'll spend some time with that. So we'll be doing that. And I believe I will be getting the GPD WinMax when it's available. I think they reached out to me about a month ago, and they said that they're running behind with COVID and all this other stuff going on. So we'll have that coming in there. So yeah, set your notification bell. So we'll see where the energy level is at. I'll probably do it in the late afternoon, and we'll also be streaming it over on Amazon too. I'm doing a lot on Amazon now. I didn't do this one on Amazon tonight because I just didn't know if they'd be okay with this, because it is something that Nintendo doesn't like. So I wanted to be careful with that. Londog says the green sauce is exquisite. Nothing like it. I like a good, I like hot sauces that have flavor, right? That beyond just the spice. So that's intriguing to me. All right, everybody. I am going to call it a night and rest my eyes and shut down Mr. Legion here. And then, so look for me tomorrow. And then another thing that we'll be doing pretty soon on Monday is I'll be giving you, it's funny, I posted that thing on the community post about the thing we did at the school. If I'm still connected here, I'll show you what I did. And there was a lot of interest in seeing more of that. So I think what I'll do is talk about how we did the live stream, because it was 8 hours. It was a long day. And as it turns out, the school has a gigabit symmetrical connection from the state of Connecticut. So it was super fast. So we had no bandwidth issues there at all. That was it was really pretty good. So I was pleased with that. And let me show you that community post real quick so you can see what I'm talking about. And let's go to my channel and the community post. So I just wanted to show you the picture that I posted. And I got like a ton of thumbs, and maybe because people like the fact that we devoted some of our production time to a good cause. So maybe that was why there was so much interest in it. But look at this, I had like 340 likes on that, and then a lot of comments and stuff. So I figured, you know what, we'll do a little thing about how we did it. And it was fun. It was actually it was a good challenge because I hadn't done like a real high stakes live stream before. So it was maybe I'd done one or two, but not to this extent, because there was this was these kids, this was their graduation, and we wanted to make it special, and we were able to hook up a drone and everything else. So it was cool stuff. Nick F. asks a question. Are you able to let one of your mods remotely control your vMix when you do a stream? So it's possible to do that. My challenge is that I am stuck with this lousy upstream connection. So what you can do, and I've done this already, is I've used VNC to send the display of this computer upstairs, so I was able to control things that way. So we were doing a live stream, I was just messing around with a few things. We were playing with the 3DO up there, actually. And so we started down here, and then I had an NDI camera set up in the game room upstairs. So I was able to go up there, switch to the NDI camera. Actually, I had two NDI sources coming downstairs, and I could control everything from my laptop over VNC. And I am, hopefully, I signed up for Shadow, which is that $15 a month, cloud server thing. And I think that would do a really good job of running vMix. And what a lot of folks have been doing during the lockdown is that they're having people call in via vMix call, with their cameras. And so they're running the servers in the cloud. A lot of them are running them on Amazon AWS. And this one guy on my streaming group that I'm on Facebook, I think he had 5 commentary hosts in together, and then he had like 25 or 30 different streams from the games being played. It was amazing. This guy posted his whole workflow. It was mind-boggling. But yeah, you can do all that stuff. It's pretty cool. All right. Well, I'm going to head out here. Tech Guy Coolio, sorry to say goodbye just after you said good morning, but we're going to head out for now. We'll be back tomorrow, probably late afternoon, early evening. So set your notification bells. We're going to unbox 2 computers and I think the new Mega EverDrive flash cartridge from Ukraine, from Crix. So lots of good stuff coming up, and that is going to do it for now. And thank you all for tuning in.